Well, good afternoon, guys, girls, children. I'm going to do my own little mini project today. So this chair set was a Mother's Day gift for me years ago, 2 abodes ago, and it sat on our front porch and was amazing. And my cushions are back there. You may have remembered a month or so ago I had to take those off the chairs, and Ronnie clamped them up for me, and I had to power wash them because they'd been sitting outside and they were not protected from the weather and they got all nasty. So I power washed them, and then I brought them in here so that they would be out of the weather, but the chairs were still outside. Now, in our previous abode, these were actually in a workshop, and Ronnie and Dwayne were able to use them when they were taking breaks because we didn't have these camp chairs. And my intention was to leave them there so they could still be used when there were multiple people at that workshop. But Dwayne brought them over, so they're here. And because I have rockers on my front porch, I don't need these on my front porch, but I didn't want them to go to waste. My back porch is not covered, and I didn't want them sitting out exposed to the weather because they'll get ruined. And the last time we had a build, we had more people here than we had chairs. Those 3 chairs came with that table. And that's an older table, and it's great for being in here so that they can do little things on it and whatnot. But we just needed some extra seating so that when people were taking breaks, we'd have enough chairs. We got the 2 camp chairs and then these 3 chairs, but it wasn't enough because when Ronnie does a bigger build like that bench in the back, he tends to call in the troops because he just can't do it anymore. He's getting older, and he just needs help. He needs lifting help and moving help and stuff. And so people come and help him, which is great. We have a great family and friends group that are willing to jump in and help him in the workshop with those larger projects. But anyway, so my mini project today is going to be to wipe these down really well, clean them, and then put those cushions on them so that they will be in here and they will be serving a purpose, so that when Ronnie does have larger builds and we have lots of people here, everyone will have a place to sit. And then occasionally I'll probably have to wash the cushions, but that's okay because I don't mind them getting dusty. At least they won't get moldy, and that's what I was worried about. So anyway, this is going to be my mini project today. Okay, that did not take that long. I'm kind of pleased. I did have to give the table a really good clean, and that sucker was super dirty. Even though it had been kind of hosed off, the chairs were still wet from being hosed off, and the table was still wet. But even after wiping it down where the water had, gotten it wet, it was still super dirty, so I had to ask Ronnie for glass cleaner. But they look nice. It'll provide some extra chairs out here. They'll have a place to set a drink if they've got one. I'm sure it'll get moved around because the lawnmowers get moved around all the time and the 2 rakes get moved around all the time. So I'm sure they'll get moved around. I had to put the chairs back under the table for now. And I don't know if Ronnie videotaped when they were using that table, but this table was used recently with the grandboys to paint birdhouses, and I had to move those because they were on top of the cushions. But the boys painted these little birdhouses as a project with their pawpaw, and we haven't put them up yet. They had to dry, so maybe one day this week they'll get with pawpaw and get to hang them. But anyway, so the chairs are done. Nice little mini project, took less than an hour, but now that task is done and they won't be exposed to the weather. I did notice a couple of rust spots on one chair already, so I'm very thankful that we now have them out of the weather, and they will be of service to anybody coming over to help us. Hope you guys are having a great afternoon. That's our chair mini project for Wannabe Workshop.